Hello again. Welcome to Nitro Talk. Today we're going to do a little bit different of a video. I had an idea that maybe just because I don't have some of these vehicles that I used to have anymore, doesn't mean we can't talk about them. I took a lot of pictures. I figured we could look at some pictures and still discuss these vehicles. So let's see how this goes. All right, first one we're looking at here. Okay, let's pause on the car for a second and go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Yes, my workbench is a mess. You will see that in a lot of these pictures. I kind of, I still do this. I clean up when I'm done. Trust me, believe me, when I'm done working, I put my tools up. But while I'm working, they drop where I'm using them or out of my way. So there's that. What's the second thing? This was back when I was still using these Integy drivers, as you can see back here. Once you use an MIP hex driver, you will not want to use anything else. They're far superior. I can't believe I used these things for as long as I did. All right, now we can talk about the Team Associated Nitro TC3, which is the vehicle we have here. It is running an OS CVR 18 engine. It is a 2-speed car. We have a Traxxas air filter that was designed for the 2.5. I actually run this air filter on everything I run with that filter. It's on both of my race buggies right now. Maybe I started using it because I had a ton of them laying around. Maybe because I read the Traxxas propaganda that it was designed with the throat shaped like a venturi to increase the efficiency and power of the 2.5. I don't know. It is a 2-stage filter. It's got a mesh screen and then a foam filter inside. I've always liked the filter, and that's what I run on all of my stuff. The 18 CVR OS is a heck of an engine. This engine will toss a T-Max around with authority. So in a tiny touring car like this, that is a ton of motor. This, I believe, is a Paris pipe. I'm not certain, but I believe that this is one of the pipes designed by legendary Nitro engine guru Ron Paris. What else can we see? Looks like from the fact that it has a tiny little antenna that it's a 2.4 gigahertz radio in there. The TC3 itself, I believe that the consensus is that among the ready-to-run 10th scale touring cars, your HPI RS4, your Nitro 4Tech, and the TC3, that the TC3 is the most track capable of the ready-to-run grade cars. Your, Serpent, Mugen made some better 10th scale touring cars, but as far as the big three, I believe the consensus is that the TC3 is the most capable, the fastest to get around a track of those three. What else can we say? You know what? Let's go ahead and move on. Oh, I wanted to show you the body for that car was the stock Dodge Stratus body. I really liked, didn't they also have an Accord? I believe, I'm not certain, that they also had an Accord body for the TC3. Don't quote me on that, but I always liked this Dodge Stratus body, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this Dodge Stratus body was like one of the winningest touring car bodies back in those days, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But I always liked the Stratus body. And I'm always partial to factory painted and trimmed bodies. Now, maybe that's because I am no good at painting bodies. But I have always, if I have the factory painted body for a car, that's what sits on it on my shelf. I like the factory original bodies. Moving along, how y'all doing today? Like and subscribe. I have yet to say that. I guess I just did. Please, if you enjoy the content, I'd love a like and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Questions, comments. You got an idea for a video? Anything? I'd love to hear from you. Oh man, so we have a sad story now. That right there is a Cen NX-46 engine, which came in the Cen Genesis 7.7 and another Cen vehicle. What was it? There was the Genesis, the GST was just, Genesis Super Truck, I believe. But there's another Cen vehicle I can't think of the name of. I believe they both had this NX-46 engine. Anyways, someone had done a Nitro electric swap, pulled out the Nitro setup from a brand new Cen Genesis and sold it on eBay. And so I bought this brand new pulled engine, right? And it was shipped to me in this box with that packing material. I pulled that engine out of that box just like that. As soon as I picked the box up and I felt the engine fall to the other end of the box, I knew I was in trouble. But when I opened it up, I could see that a fin was broken. Now, that's a friggin' heartbreaker. Not only is this engine, it's hard to find in any condition. They're not plentiful, certainly not nowadays, but a brand new one, good luck trying to find a brand new Cen NX-46 engine. That's a rare piece. I did glue that back on. That's pretty much the only option at this point. If you have the piece, is to glue it back on. You can cut the rest of that fin off, sand it down, and repaint it. If you do good work, you could make it look pretty good doing it that way. But the piece went back on. The engine was never meant. Once it was broken, I have other heads for the engine too. I have the red red head that says Cen on it. So for me, gluing it back together, because it was just, that head was just going to sit on the shelf anyways. That's what I was trying to say. But I bought the engine for this right here. Now, feast your eyes. The Cen Genesis was somewhat rare back then, and certainly nowadays is really hard to come by. I am willing to bet that a lot of you who are familiar with the Cen Genesis did not know that they made a limited edition. You see that right there? Genesis limited edition. And that is not just a fancy paint job on the body. This has upgraded differentials, a 3-speed as opposed to the standard 2-speed. What else is it? There's extra shocks. I'm not 100% positive if the standard truck did not have these shocks that go, see these shocks that go across the top of the towers here. This had a 10 shock setup. 8 in the standard positions, 2 at each wheel, and then 1 front, 1 rear going across, connected with cantilevers. And yeah, that right there is the Cen redhead that says Cen on it. This right here, the Cen Genesis limited edition. I've never seen another one. Let me take a moment here to say that I am a collector. I've collected other things besides RC cars and Nitro engines, stuff like this. It's in my blood to collect things, okay? Nowadays, when I look back at some of the stuff that I had, and I will be touching upon and showing you some stuff that is so rare, I still have a ton of good stuff, and I'm very proud. I'm very happy. I love my collection. But this, for example, I could not imagine you can find a limited edition to save your life right now. I've never seen another one of these. I doubt you will ever, other than this picture right here. I'm sure you can find some info online. But to see one in real life, oh yeah, see how the chassis plates are red. I believe the standard Cen Genesis, the plates were green. The body on this, now I don't know if this is a limited edition thing. I believe that all of the Cen Genesises were like this, but this body was so thick, you could like almost barely, take it off holding your hands. You could almost barely tweak it. It was so thick. Super thick body, and as you can see, not a scratch on it. That body was mint condition. I did not run this thing with that body on it when I had it. I let that thing go at some point, and I kick myself in the butt for it. When you have something as rare as that, do not let it go. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up with a quick look at this right here. Now, like I just said, I'm not one for painting bodies. I'm not good at it. Whoever did this did a good job. I came across this car, and I really liked the body. This is not a factory done body. Somebody done this. It isn't the most complicated body. I've certainly seen a lot more, but they did a good job with it. The white is like a pearl. I always loved the way that this body looked. Now, who knows what kind of car is under there? These are the stock wheels for the car that is underneath it. And as you can see, another clue is the blue here on the pipe, right? Who knows? Come on. That's a resonator pipe on a Traxxas Fortec. But the thing about this vehicle, besides I love the paint job on it, let's look at this pic right here. Now, your body posts have holes in them that the body clips go through. You have some that sit below your body, and then you put some on. I'm talking about it's not all of them are set up that way. Some of them have like a peg that the body sits on. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let's say you put a body on a car and you use one hole in the body mount, and the body's sitting a little too low, right? So you take it off and move up one hole, right, on the body mounts. Put the body back on, and now it's a bit too high. I mean, the holes are pretty close together, so it's not a huge difference. But if if you're looking for perfection, it can be a little too low or a little too high. So if it's not perfect, I've been known to take my Dremel with a teeny tiny drill bit and drill a new hole in the body mounts so that the car can sit absolutely perfectly. Look at the stance on that car. Just soak it in. Just let it wash over you. Let's have a moment of silence for it. That is gorgeous. Nice and straight. Look at the body, the reflection. You can see how it's perfectly even, the body. Whoever cut it out did a real good job. I believe I did that pipe thing. The pipe cutout, it was for a different car before. I believe I changed the mounts too. Anyways, that's a good looking Audi A4 right there. I've gone on long enough. I'm starting to ramble. Maybe I started a long time ago. If you're still here, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.